It looks like Nick really enjoyed his trip.
So last night after me and Katchii were like, dude, we're here, we're in San Antonio. Surely we're not gonna spend the entire night in the hotel, right? She wanted to go out and she was like, ooh, date night. And we decided to walk down the river walk again at night. It was just a very interesting experience, and we had this nice little restaurant alongside the river, and there was little ducks in the river, and it's quite interesting to go out in public. It's been a long time. I enjoyed walking around, seeing people, so many different folks out there, people on dates, people having, everyone riding the boats that we rode that day. It's so funny because like we did that boat tour and we actually got pretty lucky because there wasn't too many people on the boat tour. It was just a couple old people who were really nice and friendly, and everyone had like plenty of space on the boat, and you could like stretch your legs, like, chilling. But at night, those boats are packed like sardines, okay? Because that's when everyone wants to ride the boats because it's, colder at night. And as I was doing this, looking around, it was like the women, and they had their phones, kind of like Katchii, taking photos, and the men were just like, and then the woman would look, and they'd be like, and then it was just like all the guys were just kind of forced to go on these rides because the girl wanted to go, But I had fun when I did it though. I wasn't forced at all. I like history. I like learning about history, and learning about the San Antonio is cool. So I didn't know that the river was first. That river we were on was named before this whole city, and the city is named after the river. That river is the city, which is crazy. So that whole thing is pretty nuts, man. Yeah, she was a great tour guide. She was a really good tour guide. And what's funny? She was still working when we went out and got dinner. Katchii, we saw her, right? Yeah, so she was on that grind, man, because we got there at what? So she was out there for at least 6 hours, just doing the tour over and over and over again, So that was pretty awesome.
He genuinely seemed to have a great time in San Antonio, even though it was visibly scorching hot over there. I noticed him complaining about the heat a few times. Maybe it's the El Nino acting up or just intense summer weather. Either way, San Antonio looks like an awesome destination. I actually looked up a few spots there, and there's so much cool stuff to explore. If you love traveling, it definitely seems worth checking out. By the way, a quick tip for anyone traveling in extreme heat: make sure to stay well hydrated, and if you are not drinking enough water, you run a real risk of dehydration or even heat stroke. What do you guys think? Does San Antonio look like a fun trip to you or just mate? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe.